Welcome to today's edition of Copy That, a very special edition wherein nothing is different from other editions of Copy That whatsoever. I have my gentleman friend Rod here, who has joined me in the lovely city of Baltimore. I have Luke, who has also joined me in the city of Baltimore, but has declined to come over to my apartment.
I actually always lived in Baltimore. I just never told anyone. I've been living here my whole life.
The whole time you've been here, and you're just avoiding me. You're basically the Howard Hughes of the Copy That show. Welcome to the funnel, guys. Rod has fully transcended the funnel. He has passed through the funnel all the way to my house. He is now at the highest echelon. He's like Scientology, where you get to like the 5th level of like Zeta Phaeton.
Where you get to meet the guy, right?
Where you get to meet L. Ron Hubbard in his tomb. You want to address this person in the comments who said that Rod looks so out of place. Can you give him a book?
Excuse me. I am basically Ty Lopez now.
Knowledge.
A lift is email copy. People ask about and talk about email copy all the time. Well, email copy is multivariate. You have emails that go out and they're designed to entertain. They're like a blog post, but in your email inbox. But then there are other emails. These are called lifts or marketing emails, and these are designed to intrigue or pull somebody in and get them to click on a link so that they go to a sales page or an order form. It's called a lift because it lifts somebody from their inbox to a sales page. I pulled up a bunch, 6 lifts. Some for the same product, some that go to the same list. What I want to play today is a bit of a game. What we would like to do is look at different lifts and see if people in the audience can tell which lift performed better. And the prize is, Rod will go to your house next. All right, here's the first one. We are going to read this guy. The first lift actually is for a very famous systems promo that Evaldo Albuquerque wrote. Both of these lifts link to the exact same promotion, the same product. Let's look at the first one on the left. Subject line, Wall Street won't be happy about this. Hey there, first name there. Alan Nuckman has made some enemies along his trading colleagues in Chicago and on Wall Street by doing this. Okay, we have some disruption, got some enemies, we have a person, we have the relationship. But it allowed his readers the chance to pocket big gains. Ooh, intriguing. It's all thanks to the secret behind this simple piece of paper shown below. Even more intrigue. Lots of blurred out stuff. United States Patent and Trademark Office. Okay, we have an illusion of what this might be. To discover how this secret has finally leveled the playing field between Main Street and Wall Street, click here now. Sincerely, the publisher. Luke, what do you think of that?
I think this is pretty good. Follows the DIC or the Dick formula pretty standard. I'm not really sure I like the end. Feels a little too cliche for me. But the start is good, granted the audience knows about Alan.
So that's lift 1. Anybody in the audience who thinks that this lift did particularly well? Why, Warren, do you vote against this lift? Warren thinks it's too vague. Okay. Shall we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Customer service announcement. Hi, subscriber name else reader. If you're receiving this email, it means there could be something wrong with your account with us. Our customer care director has recorded an urgent video to explain everything. Click here to watch this important message. Don't worry, this short 3-minute video won't take much of your time, but it's important you watch this before Monday. That's just 3 days away. You'll understand why once you click here and see our director's message. Regards, the list managing editor.
Very clickbaity, I would say.
It is quite the hook.
These are the types of hook that like make people really pissed off.
This goes out to an entire list. This is not like a back end or something.
So somebody has paid or somebody has signed up for a newsletter, a free newsletter, or is buying a paid newsletter. So we have their email address. They are a front end or a paid customer. Sometimes people are back end customers. But basically, they have seen a sales letter. They have given us money, or they've given us their email address in exchange for a free e-letter. And we send them stuff, either engagement, articles, news. Sometimes we'll send them a marketing email. That's what these are. These marketing emails are designed to get them to buy another thing with us. That would be a back-end sale. A cross-sell would be like getting them to populate another list, so that would be selling another front-end newsletter. A back-end newsletter, typically costs anywhere between $200 and $5,000. And the goal of any back-end product is to further monetize your list, people who've already paid money with you. Not only to get more money, but also to deepen the relationship, get them further down the funnel. But let's find out what people are saying in the chat about this. Luke, what do you think?
I've tried these types of aggressive, hyperbolic type of like baity emails, and I did that to like my own lists. And I got a lot of people that said, yeah, fuck you. I think the open rate is high, but I'm not so sure about the actual conversion rate. My vote is going to be on the first.
At the same time that it is very spammy, it seems very self-aware in that they do a number of things, specifically in the second half of the email. Like this 3 short-minute video, it won't take much of your time. They set that sort of deadline and instill the urgency by saying, watch this before Monday. It's only 3 days away. You'll understand why. And then, again, reiterating it with the CTA. So at the same time that it's spammy, it seems to be aware of that and try to soften it towards the end.
This one could have worked really well if what's behind the link is actually really good. Like, gives them a really good offer. So it might work well, but I think it's also risky because this could also bomb very hard.
In full disclosure, what's behind the link of both of these lists was one of the best-selling promotions of all time. So any final thoughts?
So my thoughts are like the first one follows the DIC formula pretty well, while the second one hits you in the face with a sledgehammer. And if I were to say which one probably performed better, then it would be the second one.
So I would say that the second one follows the DIC formula too. So if you're receiving
more impactful, it feels more impactful than the first one.
No, for sure.
Yeah, if you're going to get hit in the face with a dick, the second one is a bigger one. The first email, Wall Street won't be happy about this, had an open rate of a fantastic 18%. Nearly 1 out of every 5 people who saw that subject line clicked on this email and opened it. Of the people that opened this, only 4% actually clicked one of these links. It's not very good. Of the people that clicked, 0 people bought. This first email was a total bomb. Urgent customer service alert. Of the several 100,000 people that were on the list that received this, 14,000 people clicked to the promo. 1,000, nearly 1,100 of them clicked to the order form, and of those people, nearly 200 of them bought, for a total batch revenue of $214,000 from this one email on the right.
So we were talking earlier about how the one on the right is a lot more caustic and might feel disingenuous or misleading to people. But given that the promo itself, the messaging was like, you don't have this feature, it used the same angle as the headline of this, it makes sense to me that actually worked well. Whereas the one on the left is like a completely, not a different idea, but it's not as in line. That the one on the right did so much better is not surprising.
The longer I stay in the copywriting and the marketing game, the more I feel that the pattern interrupt and that attention grabbing is almost pretty much the most important thing. If you fail there, you're kind of failing it, like the rest of your sales messaging.
We are in the intention getting business, and to pretend that our shit does not stink, no matter how much perfume we spray on it, is just trying to escape the fact that it does stink, and you have to lean into it.
This attention grabbing is okay so long whatever next you're going to say is actually valid, right? Like so long you're actually providing value and you're not lying about things, it's okay.
Let's go to the second left. So let's look at the one on the left.
Must read. Huge news about monthly marijuana millionaires. Dear subscriber name, Else Reader, I cracked the code. I found the key. The holy grail of pot stocks. The smallest, fastest moving marijuana industry stocks could make you a fortune. Now, I'm a calm guy, but what I found has me all amped up. Here's a video I sent my publisher. Check it out below. And this is actually a GIF of him flailing his papers around.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Click here right now and see everything I found out about monthly marijuana millionaires and see how you could become one too. Click here right now. Do it! To a bright future, Ray Blanco. P.S. As a Tech Profits reader, you're getting first crack at what I found. You're also getting a huge discount off this pot stock research if you decide you want to jump on board. But here's the thing. So many readers are taking advantage of this huge discount. My publisher decided to pull the plug on it tomorrow. If you want to find out how you could become a monthly marijuana millionaire too, click here right now and get in before your big discount goes away tomorrow. It's big.
It's a big discount.
Big discount.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest.
Let's do a quick analysis. I cracked the code. I found the key. The holy grail of pod stocks. Obvious disruption right there. Must read. Definite clickbait. Yes, the PS does ruin the curiosity, but at the same time, like, sometimes you have to weigh, are you supporting the intrigue or are you reinforcing the scarcity of the deadline? It's always a cross-fading array of psychology. The smallest, fastest moving marijuana industry stocks can make you a fortune. Intriguing. Now, I'm a calm guy, but what I've found, not revealing what he's found, but we know it's marijuana stock related, has me all amped up. Here's a video I sent my publisher. Check it out below. Oh, I'm intrigued to see this video. And then obvious call to action right here. The PSs serve a lot of functions. One of my favorite ways to use the PS is to expand on an otherwise non sequitur subject line, or to just like deepen that, or to explore a different avenue that way. Another way to use a PS is to emphasize a different emotion that's not fully covered in the main body of the email. So like, for example, all this is heavy on the intrigue, but there's not really a whole lot of text. It's about like, this is coming down tomorrow. You need to do this right now. That's what the PS does. How do you guys think this did?
I like it. It's quick. It's to the point. I think the guy flailing his papers around is itself sort of it's not a disruption, but it animates, and so it makes it more interesting. And so the click right afterwards, I think, plays off of a little bit of the emotion of the GIF itself, and so it's more interesting to click. Like, oh, what's this guy flailing his papers about? The end is, the first half has me. The second half is whatever. If you're on this list and clicking a decent number of things, you've probably seen a number of appeals to urgency like that before, and so I feel like it could be executed a little bit better, but probably does well enough.
Luke, what do you think?
I don't like this one. Like, I just don't feel it. It feels too vague to me.
Too vague, not compelling, but there's even a video of him.
Yeah.
And it's about the smallest, fastest moving marijuana industry stocks.
Yeah,
that could make you a fortune, Luke.
I'm not buying it, Sean.
Anybody in the chat? I think most didn't open, but most of those that clicked bought. Interesting hypothesis. All right, let's look at this other lift for the same product.
Pot stocks are acting strange. Dear subscriber name, some pot stocks we've been watching keep doing something very strange. My colleague has been digging deep and has found out that whenever they do this strange thing, you could make massive amounts of money. Sometimes as much as a 1,100% gain in 3 weeks. Click here now to discover what they're doing and how you could make tons of money from marijuana. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet. This one crushed. Guarantee.
I don't know, just because I'm jaded, but whenever I hear these like super direct appeals to like they're not hiding the ball that there's like a gimmick behind this, like something very strange. Like they're not telling you what it is. They're telling you there's this very strange thing, obviously, and like it's gonna make you massive amounts of money. It feels like, as someone who reads a decent number of like emails and promos, like when people appeal in this way, it feels kind of like jarring. And if you're on a list like this, you must get a number of these kinds of emails, and so I would struggle to see like how this feels special or specific or unique or whatever just by merit of like the environment in which you're going to consume it.
I do agree, Rod. Like, it's a common appeal. If you are in somebody's inbox being like, this thing does 1,100% gains in 3 weeks, and then the other email is like, well, this thing does 497, but in 5 days. And another person is just like, but this does 10,000%, but in 2 years. I think that at a certain point, it just becomes noise. I will reveal the one on the right first. The one on the right. So of the several tens of thousands of people on this list who received this message, only 116 of them actually clicked this link. Only 12 of them went through to the order form, and none of them bought. Pot stocks are acting strange. Bomb. Must read, huge news about monthly marijuana millionaires. Of that list, we had 6,140 full promotion views. That's people who clicked this link. Of those people, 1,250 of them clicked through the order form. And of those people, about 1,200 just decided to quit, X out of the page. And that leaves 56 people who spent $110,000 based off of this email.
Your email effectively ends when someone clicks the link. And so one of the things I was saying was that, like, the first half is really interesting to me, and the second half is kind of whatever. But if someone reads the first half, is interested in clicks, they don't read the boring second half, and so it doesn't exist to them. After those initial links, you're only really speaking to the people who didn't click at the first set, and so you are writing at that point for someone who did not, like, just immediately respond to that initial appeal, and so then you're adding that urgency, the guarantees, the whatever you find there, and so then for that second half, it doesn't have to necessarily be the same tone or whatever. It's a different audience.
I have in the past said, with lifts, you don't want to steal too much from the sales letter. Let the sales letter do the selling, do the work of selling. The job of the lift, the actual marketing email, is to get people to click so that they can be sold. That's the only job. And so what you pull in, how you decide to frame it, and what you decide to do, that's all a very strategic process of omission. And earlier people were saying that maybe specificity is dead. And I was not saying earlier that specificity is dead. This is very specific. I cracked the code, I found the key, the holy grail of pod stocks. We know from the first line specifically what this is about. Here's a video I sent my publisher. So we know that there's a video that we're going to watch. It's all extremely specific. It's just not telling you that there's some secret. It's not telling you that there's big gains to be had. It's achieving the same rhetorical effect in different ways. Unique and different usually win out over, like, tried and true.
When I said I didn't like this one, it was mainly also because of the second half. Like, it felt like it lost me. But when I read the second lift, it felt kind of weak-fish to me.
What's the origin of that joke, by the way?
Hey Sean, really sorry about that. For some reason, this part of the video got corrupted, so I don't know what to tell you. I guess no one will know what the origin of that joke is.
Wait, do we have a Patreon?
I think we do. If you go to www.patreon.com/thecopythatshow, you may be able to sign up to receive exclusive access to a certain number of videos, full broadcasts, and all sorts of other goodies.
In fact, after we end this show, you and I should probably work together to actually make our first Patreon post. Because we've been so bad about that.
And when he says that, what he means is
my God.
if you sign up right now, you can say to all your friends and family when you go out wearing your Copy That t-shirt that you were in fact there when the very first post was made.
Don't we mean to do like a hot tub stream at some point, with the three of us?
Legit. If we get to the point where the business is self-sustaining based on Patreon supporters, we are going to fly you out to Baltimore. I'm going to fly you back out to Baltimore. And we are going to rent a suite at the Four Seasons. We're going to blow all of our money so that we can set up in the Four Seasons to record a hot tub stream of the Copy That Show. But also, no pressure. If you don't have the money, don't support us. If you want to support the show, if you want to keep this going, want it to grow, we're going to use your money to do that.
On hot tub streams.
Hot tub streams. Blowing all of it on a hot tub stream. That's what the people want, Luke.
Just picture this. The three of us in a hot tub surrounded by stacks and stacks of breakthrough advertising.
So this one's a little different. So this is for different products, but it went to the same free email list. I want to look at two emails with basically the same emotional hook, but one of them did better. Subject line, can you send me your address, please? Dear reader, good morning. Jim Rickards here. If you haven't heard, I've just released a new book called The Big Drop. It wasn't a book I was intending to write, but it warns of a few critical dangers that every American should begin preparing for right now. Here's the catch. This book is not available for sale. Not anywhere in the world. Not online through Amazon, and not in any brick-and-mortar bookstore. Instead, I'm on a nationwide campaign to spread the book as far and wide for free. Because every American deserves to know the truth about the imminent dangers facing their wealth. That's why I've gone ahead and reserved a free copy of my new book in your name. It's on hold, waiting for your response. I just need your permission and a valid U.S. postal address to drop it in the mail. Click here to fill out your address and contact info. If you accept the terms, the book will arrive at your doorstep in just a week or two. Thanks for your time, Jim Rickards. P.S. Even if you don't want the book, please take a look here and write back to me to let me know why you're denying this free offer. That way, I'll take your copy off hold and send this note to someone else. But when you see all the bonuses I've included, I know you'll want to claim your package right away. Click here to learn how to claim Jim Rickard's brand new book for free.
I love that last CTA. This is what it is. Do it. The other ones are much more direct in speaking to the audience, whereas this one is Jim Rickard's telling the story of this kind of like the situation he's in and why he's doing a thing. It's way more explanatory. So it's certainly different.
Plus, the subject line is quite, I would say, quite striking in a way.
Quick pro tip before we assess whether this did well or not. I would say that if you have a client on Upwork and they are uncomfortable with the hyperbolic, super aggressive, salesy emails that we were reviewing earlier, if you write an email like this, they are much more likely to be receptive to your email copy because you're being very forceful, very direct, very open about what people are getting. You have a little like taste of the offer in the email. It's going to win over the publisher, the guru, the creative director a lot more simply. I would argue that a lot of the people that are allergic to being salesy with their business would probably tend to veer more towards something like this. Let's find out what the other one says. A crash-proof play for your portfolio? If you're worried about another market crash or recession, if you're unsure if this market rally can continue, then listen closely. I've pinpointed one sector that, based on historical data, could actually be considered crash-proof. And I found one stock trading for less than $10 right now that could actually crush the market this year, no matter what happens. I'm talking gains as high as 10 times or more over time in practically any market conditions, potentially even if the market takes a dive. Click here to see what I've discovered now. Best, the managing editor. P.S. This has nothing to do with gold or commodities or anything like that. I know those are traditional safe havens, but this is an absolute monster of a profit opportunity in practically any market climate. So no matter what happens, this could lead to staggering profits for you if you know how to play it. Click here for a full rundown of this opportunity.
This would be successful if it was a VSL voice by Sean.
So what thoughts do you guys have about this?
Yeah, like, I don't know if I'm jaded because, like, I've seen the whole "this is not gold" like claim before. Like, whenever they're like, this is safe, and by the way, it's not gold. Like, I've seen that like pattern too many times for me to be like, yeah, this is it, right? This is what I'm going to click on.
So I actually think that's a good thing because, what we're not seeing alongside of this is $1.5 billion offers, buy gold coins. This is your safe haven asset. If things are going to crash, buy gold coins. The people that tend to buy financial offers, the people that tend to be very bearish and like very concerned about the markets, love gold. They love it. They cannot get enough gold. And so it's important, either in a lift or in copy, to actually say, well, this isn't gold. Because then they go, oh, it's not gold? It must be something else.
Yeah, like I thought it'd either be that or it's like, oh, it's not what you expect because this is what you're used to. Yeah, so granted, on the assumption that they get a lot of fucking, promos there about like buy gold, then I could see that work.
The first half is interesting to me. I think there's a tone mismatch maybe. So the headline is very bombastic. Crash proof! Question mark, exclamation point. Like that reads, it's very high energy. And then it starts off like, if you're worried about generic things that everyone is always vaguely worried about, but isn't usually top of mind, I guess, then listen, pay attention to this thing. And then it's like crash, then I've pinpointed a sector that could be crash proof, and then it tries to like bring the energy back up with less than $10. And it just doesn't excite me, doesn't turn me on. And I feel like because you kind of tease the high energy thing with the headline, then I'm like, well, what was the big deal?
Yeah, this crash proof play actually had a decent open rate. Of the hundreds of thousands of people that got this, 14% of them opened. Let people vote.
One or two. Like, what do you guys think?
Warren thinks the first one did better.
So we got a lot of people picking the first one.
Let's start with the one on the right. Again, open rate, 14%, which is fantastic. Of the people that opened this email, 4% of them clicked the link. So ultimately, less than 300 people clicked this link to see the promo. Of the 300 people that made it to the sales page, 2 of them made it to the order form. And of the 2 people that made it to the order form, 100% of them were like, yeah, I'm good, and then clicked out. 100% of people decided they didn't want to buy whatever this was hawking. This, the can you send me your address please, good morning, Jim Rickards here, I have a new book, The Big Drop. So of the people, like, there were people who accepted the free book, people who bought the newsletter, and then people who bought upsells in the funnel, and all that combined with this one email brought in $18,600. 1,091 people bought. Of the hundreds of thousands of people, 11,013 of them made it, clicked this link, and ended up on the promotion page. Of those 11,000 people, 4,600 made it to the order form. Of those people, 1,100 of them bought. The one on the left had a 9.9% conversion rate. Urgent customer service alert. Winner of contest number 1. Must read, huge news about monthly marijuana millionaires was the winner of contest 2. And can you send me your address please was the winner of contest 3. What are some of our takeaways that we have learned from this special session of Copy That? He has learned nothing because he knew all the answers. He might have learned something before the show, but during the show he learned 0 things.
Within itself, if your headline and your body copy are not coherent together or cohesive, it's gonna like result in whiplash and people are not gonna click through.
That first email, the urgent customer service announcement, the headline for the sales page was urgent announcement. It was basically the same as the subject line of the email that we all thought was clickbait. It was coherent still.
With free lists, having that personal bond is pretty good, like we saw in the last set of lists. And another thing that, that I knew already, but that I like to stress is that the pattern intro should be really good. And you could see that in the first one, where the first of the 2 just kind of felt weak, and the second one just, hit you in the face and immediately grabbed your attention.
I want to personally thank all of our Patreons, all of our viewers. This was a very fun show, and it was only possible because people watched the show live. And so we want to keep that going, and we want you to join us for next time. We really appreciate you. We really, really value your time, and we hope that you're getting something out of these. Thank you.